Well, hello there. Uh, you weren't causing any trouble last time you were here, but, you're kind of, you're sort of blocking the way a little bit. Alright, well, I'll do what I can. Where was I? I thought it was possible for the rest of your universe to do the same as well, but with me going into their homes and then, well, Lucario asked.
But do you really think that this is the right decision?
Chris looked away. Well, I just don't know sometimes. I really wish to have an adventure with you, Lucario. Remember when you said yourself about going off somewhere with me like a trainer at his Pokemon? Lucario blinked.
Ah, yes. You and I said that before.
And to be honest, Chris chuckled, I was thinking about meeting as many characters from the worlds beyond the real world with you. Look, if you don't want to be startled by my strange voices and odd reading patterns, maybe you should just go somewhere else. How can I argue with those big doleful eyes? Is that the right word? I don't know. Whatever. You got nice eyes, but you're also a bit annoying. You're cute though. Hey, Jesus. Okay. Well, this was not part of the plan. See if I can continue to read with attached to my sleeve. You're not being very helpful, you know. You're not being very conducive to a good video recording. It's not my bloody fault. You should just leave me alone. It's my bed. You're my guest here. Oh, bugger. Give me a second. Alright. Give me a second. I didn't realise I'd have to fight off a vicious predator. Okay, I'll just reposition myself. Where was I? I can't even remember. Okay, and to be honest, he shook his head. Well, I can make interesting friends if I get to talk with any of them, but now that I think about it, once again he looked worried. It's not like I can really make friends with the protagonists of the world in just one single conversation. It took me like a year to get you to like me. To them, I'm a non-playable character who will keep saying the same thing over and over again if spoken to. But how do you know that? You haven't tried it. This is pure speculation from you. Maybe there's a special exception because you're traveling from another world. You don't really belong there. I shouldn't question the law too much. This is Aura Channeler Chris's master plan. What right have I to interfere, to question that? Let's just continue.
Yes.
Lucario looked serious.
But this is completely different. I admit that I had a pretty bad case of a lone wolf attitude when I first looked at you. Not you, though, he said. In my opinion, you have a likable personality, and that's all you need to have any of them taking a liking on you.
Ellipsis. Chris shifted his look to the side, still feeling unsure. In that case, let's see if we can even get a secondary character like Juff to taking a liking to on us. Lucario gave him a hopeful smile and nodded.
Just as how you are optimistic and gaining my complete trust as your Pokemon. Try to be optimistic,
he said, before hearing a faint sound that only he could hear. No, that he could only hear, or whatever. It means the same thing. Sort of. Turning back to the school, Lucario spotted two kids on the other side of the fenced gate.
I suppose this is where we take our first step into the mission.
Chris nodded and walked forward, only to sink instantly inside the snow. Lucario gasped and felt that there was some kind of flat rock hidden inside the snow. There was a soft edge of snow that lacked a rocky surface. Cold! His trainer shouted from the inside. The Aura Pokemon put up a tough look and dove into the snow to get him out. Back at the fenced gate of the school, the two children were looking up. Both of them wore the school's signature uniform, though that was the only similarity they shared. The hat-wearing red-headed one on the left was there to help his best friend cross over the fence. The glasses-wearing blonde-headed one on the right was intent on the other side. The red-headed one, whose name was Tony, crouched down. Shit, I gotta think of a new voice. Fuck, okay, he can be Irish. Okay, ready here. I'm going to give you a boost, he said. The blonde-headed one, whose name was Jeff, nodded and put a foot on Tony's cupped hands. Struggling a lot, Tony only barely managed to push Jeff up enough for him to grab onto the top bar of the fence. That's a bit of a tongue twister of a sentence. Juff, I'm going to call him Juff from now on. Juff luckily had no trouble putting his right foot on top to climb it up and fall on his feet on the other side. I was a little worried for a moment back there, Jeff said, fixing his glasses. He turned back to Tony, hearing him sigh a tad depressed. Juff, promise me you will be careful in your journey, Tony said. It's not really that common for people like us to be leaving the school behind till we're older. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate the support, Jeff told Tony. I will do everything to save Paula and Ness. Cover for me in the classes. Tony looked unsure. I have absolutely no idea how I'm going to cover for you if you're not even here, but I'll come up with something, he said, nodding. Oh, Juff, maybe you can get help from your dad. He should still be living somewhere close to here, right? Juff nodded. I was considering looking for him. I sure hope he is around here somewhere. Not nearby, he said. Also, if I recall, it's been 10 years since the school faculty saw him last. All right then, I guess this is goodbye, Tony said. Juff, be very careful on your journey. We're still best friends forever, no matter what. Sad to see you leaving a day before my birthday. Juff shrugged. Yes, I guess so. Tony smiled a bit. Doing this is far more important, though. Go save those two, he said. Once you come back, we'll celebrate my birthday for real. It'll be the day when you return as a hero. Waving one last time at his friend, both boys turned their back on each other and continued their separate ways. Juff looked over his shoulder, watching Tony getting back inside. But not only before Tony gave him a reassuring smile and a hand wave. Once he was gone, Juff sighed under his breath and turned back to face a withered forest of snow. He could get a clear view of the lake across from where he was standing. The school grounds were on top of a large hill. Juff looked to his left, finding a convenience store. Thinking that there could be something helpful, he walked to the door to enter it. Just before entering, several feet away from him, Lucario and Chris emerged from the hill of snow, barely catching a glimpse of Juff entering the store. He went in there, Chris shivered.
Yes, now we have to come up for a way for him to lead us to Ness, Lucario said. I think I remember Winters is pretty far away from that graveyard Ness fell into.
Okay, so Winters is the place, I guess. That kind of makes a bit more sense now. Well, what do you suggest? Chris asked, dusting off the snow from his hair. I really don't want to be too straightforward to him and say, hey, we're here to save Ness from his horrible fate because there's a whole army bent on getting in his head. Let's be insta-friends and join forces together, or even lie to him.
That is a problem,
Lucario trailed off.
Not even saying the truth or a lie is difficult.
Chris thought for a moment. What if we casually avoid saying a lie and telling the truth by being good Samaritans? He asked.
You mean what he doesn't need to know from us won't hurt anybody?
So something like that, Chris said, shrugging. This is so difficult. All right, let's give this a shot. They both looked at the convenience store. Here goes nothing. The duo approached the store, only for the front door to slide open with Jeff walking out, together with a bubble-chewing monkey that seemed to have taken interest in the smart boy. While the first duo was pondering what to say without having established eye contact with Juff, the blonde boy had already looked up at the menacing canine known as Lucario. Hold on, you there, Juff called out to Lucario. Lucario was taken off guard, and so did Chris. They both came to a halt. Yes? Chris shyly asked. Juff fixed his glasses on Lucario. You don't get to see such a person, he said the last word while staring at Lucario's hind legs. Like him walking around these parts. I think we'll leave it there for now. Wait, was Tony like a one-off character? Because I'm really disappointed if I used my Irish accent up on him. I have a limited number of accents, you know. I can't just, throw them around willy-nilly. I'll find another southerner, mind you, so maybe I'll find another Irish person.